So maybe we start with some welcoming words. I know that not everyone who registered is here yet, but let me welcome all our guests who are interested in knowing a little bit more about the Innovation Booster program, as well as some already financed and supported projects of different innovation boosters. I welcome all the speakers. Thank you very much for taking the time of sharing your experience with the Innovation Booster program. And a warm welcome also to all my colleagues from the other Innovation Boosters. You will have the opportunity to hear their voices and know a little bit more about the different Innovation Booster. My name is Marina Helm, and I am from the Innovation Booster Future Food Farming. And it's my pleasure to take you through this webinar. We are going to be together for an hour's time to learn more about innovation or radical innovation for social impact. So we have chosen 4 projects out of the different innovation boosters to be presented today. And we'd like, first of all, to use this space to, let's say, inform about our program, but also to let you know a little bit how our community of learning works. So this is not going to be a one-way communication, but we will also ask you to give feedback and to be part in a dialogue. It's going to be a silent dialogue, just for the sake of time, but we are happy if you would also like to share some of your knowledge with the teams that are going to present. The agenda for today is going to be a little introduction as we are right now. So I'm welcoming you and I'd like to take you through the agenda. We will have an overview of all the Innovation Booster of the general program of InnoSwiss. You know that this program is powered by InnoSwiss. And specifically today, we have the presence of the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle with Daniele, the Innovation Booster Artificial Intelligence with Rake, the Innovation Booster Future Urban Societies with Mirko, and the Innovation Booster Future Food Farming that I do represent. And with this, or if I quickly share the agenda further, so this first part is about the Innovation Booster program overall, and then we will have 4 stories, which are projects that have been supported in the different innovation boosters. And just to let you know, there are, of course, projects that some of them are in a very, very early stage. And this is what the Innovation Booster does. It accompanies really early stage projects or high risk projects to understand whether there is potential for change. But with that, I pass the word to Daniele to introduce the program.
Thank you very much, Marina, and welcome everyone. I'm Daniele Panato. I'm the Community Development and the Innovation Booster Director for the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle, and our leading house is Tagora. And so please, okay. So what is the Innovation Booster program? As Marina mentioned, the Innovation Booster is a program.
Sorry, we don't see your slides anymore.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
So the Innovation Booster, as mentioned by Marina, is a program financed and powered by InnoSwiss, the Swiss Federal Agency for Innovation, with the purpose, mainly InnoSwiss has 2 purposes. One is to fund innovation, and the second one is to foster technological transfer from the research done in Switzerland. So what is in the specifics this kind of program? So the Innovation Booster are thematic projects, thematic innovation projects to boost radical innovation in Switzerland by fostering an open innovation culture. So it's an open innovation program, and by using agile learning cycles and by making user centricity key in their innovation processes. So user centricity is always important to keep the final users at the center of the innovation process, and throughout several initiatives and events on which each booster has the degree on the flexibility to adopt. The objective is to put together companies and research to work, as also mentioned, to work at the very first steps of the innovation funnel and to seek this radical innovation, which said in a couple of words, is to solve existing problems with novel approaches. And as mentioned, we have two main stages throughout all the Innovation Booster programs, which is the first is a challenge stage where research and economy, but also society and politics and the final users come together to explore what are the current pain points and problems experienced by the different industries tackled by each Innovation Booster, and to co-create together for new ideas. So the call that we open are call for challenges, and they are very raw, let's say, and together, usually we work together during workshops to facilitate with a lot of support also by external experts, how to co-create these potential new radical innovative ideas, and where usually a jury decide upon the winning ideas with different funding schemes to come to the idea stage, on which today we will have the pleasure to hear from some of the winning innovation teams, where the idea stage is to test, and the purpose of the Innovation Booster is to test the potential of these new radical innovative ideas on each of the areas of innovation, which could be one or more between desirability, viability, or feasibility. And this testing is called also test, implement, and learn, because the learning stage is very key then to be able to generate impactful innovations. And the decision after the testing could be an implementation already in the industry to pivot the idea if the path taken is not the right one, or discontinue the idea completely if it's not the right direction for a good innovation. So of course, at the end, we will have also a couple of minutes for any questions if you would have any. And I start presenting our innovation booster, which is focused on the fashion and lifestyle industry, with the objective of fostering radical innovation in this industry. At the moment, we are in a cycle of 4-year program. We are the 3rd year of activity. We so far allocated more than £500,000 in the program to innovation teams that are currently testing the potential of those ideas. And so far, we received up to 71 project submissions after the co-creation workshops, consolidated ideas that were pitched to the jury. And at the moment, also 8 universities, Swiss university, have actually testing new potential radical innovative ideas. And what we do in our program is that we involve the industry with specific workshops to learn about what are the pain points and the challenges to be solved in the industry. Then we open a call for challenges. At the moment, we are seeking new challenges for the call now open. And then for the innovation hypothesis received, and the deadline is April the 21st, we will do a co-creation workshop in the first iteration. We do 2 iterations of this cycle throughout the year. The first one will be in Lugano, where we are based. The second one will be done at EPFL in Swiss Romandie. And then in the workshop, as mentioned, we will delve into the problems and the co-creation of new ideas. And then the ideas will be pitched to a dedicated jury that will decide upon the ones that merits to be awarded. And then the ones awarded will be passing through a test, implement, and learn stage. Quickly, the topics of the call that we are now open are technology and innovation transformation, artificial intelligence and machine learning, e-commerce, next generation material, also for a sustainability approach, production forecasting, robotics, everything concerning technologies applied to sustainability, but also technological innovation in the fashion and lifestyle industry. And the call is called Beyond Digital Technology and Sustainability Solution to Reimagine Fashion and Lifestyle. You can scan the code if you are interested to learn more and to apply to the call. And we will award, sorry if the sharing having some hiccups. Sorry again. The ideas awarded per year are 10 idea per year with up to 28,000 francs per idea. And as mentioned by Marina, to conclude my intervention at the moment, we are more than today, in terms of Innovation Booster, we will also have new mobility and sustainable digital finance. So if you want to learn more, please visit the InnoSwiss website and look for Innovation Booster program, and you can learn more about all of our programs. So thank you very much. And I pass the word to the next one, next Innovation Booster, which is artificial intelligence. So please, Raik.
So thanks for handing over. So I'm representing the Innovation Boost Artificial Intelligence, and our main goal is promoting innovation, obviously using this technology, but with the aim to have a socially and economical viable AI, so like accepted from society and somehow with a positive impact, which makes also the stance from an economic point of view. And we have these 4 focus topics, as you can see. So it's roughly themes we are focusing on. The one is the using of AI in manufacturing, automation, optimization. Then we have the whole sector of resource optimized AI. As you know, that there's a huge environmental impact of applying AI and training in AI. And then we have the sector of responsible AI, where we are more in the field of regulations, the ethical framework, etc. And then AI for sustainable value creation, where we really look into where you can apply and use AI to do something with impact, a positive impact for society. And our process is a bit similar to what Daniele presented. So we have roughly a scouting in terms of events, identifying challenges or problems. And then we do a call for participation, which can be a call for participation in terms of we are searching for challenge owners, like industry partners who are taking over a specific field, or searching for startups, spin-offs who want to tackle, address one of these challenges, etc. Then we have the shaping phase, where we challenge the idea, challenge the challenges, and then in a deep dive we go also into the testing. And if you want to learn more about, here you have the QR code, or just join us with our flagship event, which will be in May, the Swiss Conference on Data Science, where we have a workshop day. This is really a nice event to connect to business and academia with a lot of interactive formats. So if you want to get a deep dive into the AI topic, and doesn't matter which field, join on the 7th of May for this workshop day, and you will learn more. So thanks a lot, and I will hand over to the next booster.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to introduce you to our booster, Future Urban Society. Our goal is to mainstream social innovations in the areas of food, mobility, and housing. I guess process and everything is pretty similar, so I'm not going into there, but I'll like to open up your mind a little bit. So across Switzerland and Europe, we see them everywhere, inspiring pilot projects, new ways of sharing energy in communities, new models of local food systems, new ideas for climate-friendly housing. They're creative, they are committed, and please don't continue, please go back. They're creative, they're committed, and they prove that a different future is possible. Here's the paradox. Most of them stay small, they remain beautiful, isolated experiments. And you may ask why. It's almost never the technology that fails. It's the system around them that simply isn't ready. The rules, the financing, the way citizens, cities, and companies are allowed to work together, it's all built for the old world. So these promising seeds of change can't put down roots. Next slide, please. So at Future Urban Society, we take part on the pilot project Paradox. We still support seeds. We help projects that design new ways of organizing things, new cooperation models, new government structures, new ways for citizens and cities to co-create. Many of these projects look a bit like startups, but they are different in one important way. They are designed not only to create value for themselves, to help solve societal challenges. Their success is not only measured in profit, it is measured in whether they help change how the systems work. So what is then different? With seeds, we mean small yet ambitious social innovation prototypes that show a transformative potential in their eagerness and readiness to scale or replicate easily. Here you see a couple of projects that we supported already in different fields. So if you want to look further, you can go on our website. I'll share it afterwards. So one last slide. Supporting new prototypes is essential, but it's only half the job. And if we only plant seeds while the soil is poor and there's no water, the seeds just won't grow. This is why we also focus on the conditions around them. We work with the public challenge owners in Swiss communities, cities, and cantons to support also institutional innovations. The new rules, partnerships, financing structures, and standards that allow social innovations to stabilize and spread. This year, we are focused on energy community with the mission that energy communities as a social technical infrastructure may promote transformation and resilience in Switzerland, and also on the topic of good food for all. So the mission there is nutrition as a basic need. If you're interested, you may go to futureurbansociety.ch. I'll share it in the comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mirko. I'd like to take up the word seeds because this is also part of the Innovation Booster Future Urban Society. We engage from a farm to consumer because we really want to create, again, a bridge, a connection between, let's say, all the stakeholders along the value chain. And in our Innovation Booster, we are two organizations. They are called Cluster Food and Nutrition Fribourg and Swiss Food Research. And if you can go to the next slides, Daniele, I just want to mention that everyone who enters in our Innovation Booster has the opportunity to really matchmake with more than 500 partners from all of Switzerland, because we are really in all the regions of Switzerland, to find the best possible competences to realize a seed or to make a seed grow better, to have a fertile soil. If we look at our challenges, our overarching topic is how can we bridge a gap between farmers and consumers or citizens to achieve a more resilient and sustainable Swiss food system. I put some of the challenges, but I don't want to go into details for time's sake. Our process is, again, also very similar to the processes of the other innovation boosters. And Daniel, if you can switch slide, would be just perfect. We always start with a workshop where we try to understand challenges that come from the stakeholders and go into a deep dive to really understand the problems ahead and understand whose problem is it after all, and also to understand who might not have an interest in solving a specific problem. We have then a submission phase, we have an incubation phase where we really work on those three axes like viability, desirability, and feasibility. And then there is the pitching with a jury. And only after that process, we decide for the support and funding that values up to 39,000 Swiss francs. In the 4 year of activity, we have 1.4 million to spend on those projects. The 1 million comes from InnoSwiss, and 400,000 Swiss francs come from the two organizations as, let's say, co-funding, as well as from foundations that help us support projects that are in their scope. And with this, what we try to do is really to de-risk very, very early innovation and help them to find a way into impact through the work we do with them, but also through the community we are working with, and far most also to address different funding schemes that can be accessed, let's say, after the innovation booster. So we don't strive just for a booster, but we strive for endurance with the project that we support. And if you'd like to participate, we also have a QR code, and I can also share the link, because we really want to tackle the root causes of a problem to develop better solutions together. And with this, and just for also for you, we will share the common slides of the Innovation Booster after this call. We will not share the single projects, because sometimes there are also some sensitive data. So we only will share this part And if there are questions for the upcoming pitchings, then yeah, we can handle that in this call in a moment. With this, I'd like to invite Valmir Bekiri from the Fachhochschule Ost to present a first project called Social Sustainability Monitoring and Insights, and it's from the Innovation Booster Artificial Intelligence. Valmir, if you would like to share your screen, so that everyone can see your project. And here we put on a timer. So we have a hard timing with 3 minutes. So you can see the timer on top of the screen just for you to know. And we might give a sign close to 3 minutes.
I will
Thank you
also
very much.
put up my watch just to be sure. Perfect.
Okay. So our topic is social sustainability monitoring and insight. And I will start first with the history of this idea. How did it came to us? Doesn't it work? No. So basically an HR manager from a production plant came to us and told us basically that he has sometimes problems with the team. He discovered that sometimes the mood is not so good and he doesn't know exactly where this is coming from. And basically he said, it would be great to have a tool which can give us at least an idea on where to dig deeper. This was the basis of the big idea that we then developed. And basically it is, we want to equip especially SMEs with an easy to use solution to fuel the discussion on how to improve employee satisfaction. The main idea was to somehow link data that the business already has in their ERP system, for example, with feedback data that comes directly from their employees. This was the huge idea that we have, the big vision that we have. And with the Innovation Booster, we were able to do a first deep dive, a first test of this idea. And I would say we actually had quite a good success with the results. We analyzed 127 working days of feedback from employees throughout 4 production gates. So it was a production plant, metal processing production plant, where employees gave us feedback basically every day at the end of the workday. And we also got a lot of ERP data that at the end of the day, we tried to link back to the feedback. We had some very interesting results. The first one was that basically every workplace, every gate that we analyzed had differences. So we could not definitely say we can create a model for each workplace, which in hindsight could be said it's a bad thing, but I would say it's a good thing. So we are very specific to each and every workplace because each and every workplace is different. We saw also the classical things like the midweek stress was very high. On Friday, the stress was the lowest. So as usual, as we might suggest. And we had a very interesting insight where we would say, okay, this was something that we did not expect. So usually you would say, if you have a lot of work, your stress is quite high. But the thing was, for the internal transport activities, it was quite the opposite. So when they had a lot of work to do, they were quite happy. So this was one of the key insights that we found out. And basically, to finish up my pitch, let me just jump here and straightly. At the end of the day, we can say yes, the linkage between ERP data and the feedback of the employees is really there. We just have to do the work. This is like the main word from my side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Valmi. It's terrible how fast 3 minutes are, but
yes.
Sorry for that, so that we give time for everyone. But now it's your time to listen to silent feedback, because we kindly ask you, the audience, to scan this QR code from the Mentimeter and to think about those answers to those 3 questions. One is, what do you want to share with the team? Is there anything from your experience that you'd like to share? Is there a person this team should talk to for further development, or is there anything the team should do as next step? Thank you, everyone, to scan the code. It's going to be the same for all the other pitches as well. And we start, if you are ready, with 3 minutes silent brainstorming.
Yes, and please to add on that, once you have answered the three questions to project one, you can leave open the Mentimeter for the next ones. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, then we time 3 minutes from now. So you didn't leave any questions open, Valmir, it looks like.
Thanks a lot. And I have to unfortunately leave, as Raik told you already. I have to teach programming to students. If you have any ideas, questions, whatever you want to share with me, hit me up via email, via LinkedIn. And yeah, then we can talk. Maybe might have a future project together.
Very nice.
Thanks a lot.
Valmir, you will receive the feedback. If there are things coming in, then we're going to send it to you. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon. We pass to the second pitching. Bye. So we go up to the next pitching. I think the Mentimeter stays open so far. So if something comes up to your mind, just go ahead and include it. The second pitching is from the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle. It's called Streifen Goes Circular. And we are very, very happy to welcome Elisabeth Durent from Simple Circularity to present the projects of this Innovation Booster.
Oh, super.
Thank you very much. The slides were shared already.
Perfect. Thank you.
And for you, the same. We have 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to go first, and I've got a lot of slides. So, but thank you, everyone. I'm Beth Durrance, and I'm here to talk about Streifen and how we believe it can support a shift to wider circularity in Switzerland. And as mentioned, we're supported by the Fashion and Lifestyle Innovation Booster, as well as part of the Circular Incubator for circularity this year. So what is a Streifen? Well, practically it's a high-vis safety vest that's worn by children on their journeys to school. But it's much more than that for children and their families. It's actually a very important milestone for children as they start kindergarten, and it's worn with pride and joy. Next slide, please, Daniela. But what's the problem with Streifen? Well, over 80,000, or actually closer to 100,000, are issued every year. And it's used for 2 years only, as it's so closely associated with the kindergarten years. And this creates 9 tons of waste every year on a product which is still usable. It comes from the complicated textile value chain, and there are cantonal differences in terms of how it's used and applied. Next slide, please. So what is our aim and our solution? Well, we really want to turn Streifen circular, and we want them to be a circular product and a reuse product, and we want it to foster broader circular literacy within Switzerland. Next slide, please. And so is there one missing? Because there should be an impact slide. Could we go back one?
We're missing one.
We're missing one, but it's okay. I can walk through that. I'll just walk through what we believe are the impacts. So first of all, we think that we want to use less material and make less products. And secondly, there's a real power in the simplicity of the Streifen in terms of the insights it can bring. Often with product or a complicated area like textiles, the area can seem kind of overwhelming and difficult to tackle, but the value of the Streifen is it's small and it's understandable, and there could be insights for other areas. In terms of other impacts we want to support, it's supporting the systemic change in terms of a network to roll out changes, and also the development of care and repair services, as well as a faster route to circularity that can be applied for other businesses. And then the third area that we see is really important is really about the legacy, that we could impact 80,000 children year on year with a positive, understandable example of circularity. We'll shift on to our next slide now, which is really about the how. And this is where we want to use public procurement as a lever for change in terms of shifting to circular procurement, where we map the as-is processes. And we develop circular scenarios, and I can talk just briefly next slide about who our team is. And I work in collaboration with Hochschule Lucerne and their research team, and they're experts in circularity and textile research. So we'll close that for now because I'm a bit over, but thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Beth. I really can relate to this proudness of wearing a luchtski from my son, but the same goes when he goes to school, then putting it away very fast. Thank you very much. So we start again, a silent feedback. We have 3 minutes again for everyone just to share thoughts about this project or something that could bring the project to the next stage.
Quite excited about this.
We are also excited. It's an experiment for us too.
Oh, great. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Yes, we're already working with stakeholders within the existing value chain. And it's super interesting to hear their insights. Yes, and I'm sorry, the main aim is to reuse the Streifen that is already there. So find out how to develop processes around reusing what's there and maintaining the safety standards, as this is a safety product. And I think in terms of natural fibers, yes, again, it's a future stage of how we can look at the long-term kind of full circularity of the product. Linking it back to natural fibers rather than plastic fibers. Education 21. These are super interesting insights. I'd like to know more about Education 21. I know about the Lehrplan 21. I don't know if that's the same thing. Yes, we're really keen to see how circular procurement could be applied to other areas. Thank you for the best wishes. That's very nice.
Okay, I think since the feedback is slowing down, There might be some more to come in a moment, but this is going to be shared directly with Beth once this webinar is over. But
Thank you.
it's an interesting method to see what more heads can think about than a
It's
small
super
team.
useful.
Thank you very much again
Thank
for your
you.
pitch and for everyone for the feedbacks. We pass to the next project. It's a project from the Future Food Farming Innovation Booster, and it's called From Neighborhood Farm to the Consumer on Farm Slaughter. And it's a very, very early stage idea and hypothesis. And Stephanie Huser, you are not from Simply Circularity, sorry. It's from Fachhochschule Nordwestschweiz. She's going to present the project. Stephanie, you are welcome to share your slides.
Yes, 1 second.
The timer only starts when you're up and running.
That's nice. Thank you. Good. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes.
Do you? Okay,
We do.
wonderful. Great.
Now
okay. Yeah, now.
Now, yes, perfect.
Okay,
now it's
good. Yes, I'm very happy to here shortly present our project. It's about the acceptance and the potential of on-farm slaughter in urban farms. The project is being carried out by Annalena from the Schipferhof Wollishofen. It's an urban farm from Grünstadt, Zürich. And myself from University of Applied Science of Northwestern Switzerland. And Alena is a very busy farmer lady, so she's cannot be here today, but she's very into the project too. So I would like to start with the vision of our project. So just imagine an urban farm, in this case the Schipferhof, where cattle and sheep are raised ethically, respectfully slaughtered on farm, and fresh premium beef and lamb reach neighbors and also local restaurants directly. A place where city residents experience agriculture firsthand, building trust, transparency, and a truly sustainable local food system. Now let's go over some key aspects of on-farm slaughter in Switzerland. It's legally permitted since 2020. Approximately 250 farms actually now practice on-farm slaughter. 20 of them performs the pasture slaughter, so total it's approximately 0.5% of all Swiss farms. It's a slow development due to regulatory requirements. There is a recent relaxation. And yeah, it's just presents a small but growing niche with potential for urban and regional direct marketing. So now let's move on the starting point. What problem are we looking to solve? The concept addresses mainly two key challenges. One, the potential for direct on-farm marketing of meat remains somehow underutilized. And there's also a lack of dialogue between agriculture and local communities. And what has been done so far in this research area? Some research on the topic shows that, on-farm slaughter is gaining importance due to higher animal welfare and better meat quality. Animals experience much less stress. So this is proven that it improves tenderness and the quality of the meat. And also the consumer interest is rising, like this animal welfare increases the purchase willingness, especially in the premium meat segment. Yeah, driven by growing and demand for transparency, regionality, and sustainability. And also it's shown that urban farms face untapped potential for direct marketing. But this, of course, requires a deep understanding of consumer needs, neighborhood attitudes, and farmers' perspective. It's already up.
Just one last sentence.
Well, okay. I just just at the end, what we want to or what's our expected outcome? It's just the evidence-based target group-oriented marketing strategy for farmers. that they can create a direct marketing strategy, and this should somehow minimize the barriers to entry in this on-farm slaughter. Yeah. And last slide, this is just overview. We have a multi-method research approach to prove the viability, desirability of this concept, to develop it. It's an iterative process. And next week we start with the on-farm slaughter demonstration in Zollikerberg, Zurich, with a group of farmers, and that's somehow the starting point of data collection. Many thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. Thanks for rushing through it. I know there is a lot more to talk about it, but for you it's the same. So we have this 3 minutes feedback loop from the audience, and with this you still have your Mentimeter open, I hope. Just give some of your thoughts to Stephanie if you want to share them.
Well, yes, the thing is that the slaughterhouse is not on the farm, right? It's just the animal will be killed on the farm, and then in the frame of 30 minutes, it will be transported to a slaughterhouse. So, and this is also a question of the research, of course, how visible can such a process be in the urban neighborhood? What's somehow accepted? Where are the difficult points also? That's what we try to find out, and also with a certain narrative, try to find out which arguments somehow convince the consumer to accept it, to understand it, etc.
Maybe you can answer if you have a ready answer. Otherwise, it's food for thought.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
There is an interest in your project.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, pricing is a topic. Of course, we will do it, especially in the quantitative analysis, to see. Also, of course, the labeling. Is it a label which somehow like Natura beef and everything, Weide beef? Is it also like on farm slaughter label? Does it make any impact on the price willingness?
Okay, I think the 3 minutes are almost on here. It went very fast because
it's crazy.
Quite some input. We will share it with you after this call.
Thank you.
Thank you again for taking the time to present the project. And we pass on to the next and last pitching for today. It's from the Innovation Booster Future Urban Society. It's about post-fossil cities and the game for climate neutral cities. And presenting is going to be Sabine Mehring from, I think, Mehring, I don't know, MUN. I looked it up, but I'm sure you're going to share your screen and tell us more about it. Welcome, Sabine.
Hello. So I try to share my screen.
Perfect.
So my name is Sabine Mehring from Post-Fossil Cities, the simulation game for climate neutral Switzerland. Imagine the Environmental Commission of Allschwil submits a net zero working paper to the Municipal Council. That's our personal headline and one concrete outcome of the Innovation Booster project. How did we get there? Sorry. So this is our team. Municipalities often know the net zero goal, but the real challenge is bringing the right actors together to figure out how to get there. Our response to this challenge is Post-Fossil Cities. Post-Fossil Cities is a simulation game for municipalities that explores the question, how do we reach net zero? Participants take on different roles in the local system, like politics, industry, citizens, and energy providers. and negotiate real transition decisions together. I show you another picture like they are doing it. Within the Innovation Booster project, we expanded this approach. We bring together key actors who normally don't sit at the same table. They run the simulation and support them afterwards in turning the insights into concrete next steps. We have now tested this method 4 times in Allschwil, in Ilnau-Efretikon, Schaffhausen, and the canton of Aargau. Let me briefly return to Allschwil. For half a day, 28 people, stakeholders with totally different backgrounds, worked together. During the game, they swapped the roles, and the result was not just discussion, but action. The Environmental Commission decided to submit a net zero working paper to the Municipal Council. That's exactly the kind of local breakthrough municipalities need. What we also learned during the project is that coaching support makes a real difference. It helped us sharpen the format and align it closely with the real needs of municipalities and the goal of building a scalable and financially sustainable offering. So what's next with our project? Our goal now is to scale phosphorus cities so that many more municipalities can use it. To do that, we need to increase visibility of phosphorus cities and improve climate communication. The challenge is that communicating climate solution requires different approaches than traditional marketing. So we are looking for partners and supporters who want to help us bring this tool to more municipalities to move from a pilot project to large-scale impact. So if you are interested to support the next phase through partnerships or ideas, I would love to talk.
Bravo, Sabine. Spot on. I mean, you really had your last word with 3 minutes. Perfect. So here goes the same for you with the Mentimeter and some feedback. It's really an interesting approach to enable changing perspectives for all the stakeholders. Fantastic. Very interesting questions. So here as well, some very, very interesting questions and also some suggestions to go further. And it might as well be you have already had contact to those stakeholders, but maybe there are some new ones as well. Very nice. Same goes for you, Sabine. All the questions and feedbacks are going to be shared so that you have a summary of that. And thank you also very, very much for this pitching. I think we can share a round of applause virtually at least with all the teams that pitched or all the projects that were presented. We now would have a moment still. I think we have 10 minutes left for this webinar. If the audience has some questions. I don't know if you just want to unmute and you have a question to a specific innovation booster to ask about the program, feel free just to unmute yourself and we can address the questions in the room. And if there are no questions, then we kindly ask you, I know it's midday and I don't know if you've had lunch or not, but maybe if you still have a coffee to drink, we would be very, very happy if you could share your feedback of this event with us. It's been a premiere for the Innovation Boosters to do this kind of webinars today, and we'd like to improve how we could do it, but we also would like to have your feedback as we are a learning community to change or adjust. It really takes 2 minutes, so thanks a lot for doing it right away.
Hi, my name is Odd Clementi.
Hello, Odd.
So just a very quick feedback. I found that as a first session, it was very interesting for me to have the presentation of the different boosters and also to have really the stories. So it was really, it made it very practical and as well a good reminder of what the innovation booster could improve. Yeah, maybe something that I found interesting is when the speaker, the pitcher, can answer the questions. I think it's interesting. It makes it more, I don't know,
more lively.
It get it deeper into the project, because then it's usually question that goes around the business model or the idea. So I like.
Thank you, Odd.
That's the only
Yes.
adaptation I could think of. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will consider. Also, for time reasons, we will check on how much time we can dedicate to this feedback part. So this is why we chose for the silent one. But it's also interesting, and it's a hard part for the speaker to just receive. It's also an exercise and not just jump into a biased conclusion. Yes.
That's tough.
This is really.
We need smart pitchers.
Oh, they are trained. They are trained. They went through some process with us already. Yeah. And I don't know if you haven't typed it in into the feedback form, if you have do you like this format as the general format, just an hour deep dive into the pitches, or is it something you would rather do in person or rather do online? I don't know what your feedbacks are on that. You can also share them in the chat if you. Good. If there are no more questions and no more feedbacks, I'd like to invite you to our next story episode. It's going to be on the 12th of May, this time more at apero time from 4:30 to 5:30, and it's going to be about radical innovation through digitalization. And again, we will have several projects from the different innovation boosters around this topic to be shown. And if you'd like to join again, or if you'd like to pass on the word to some colleagues who might be interested, we will soon publicize or make it public to everyone to register again. With this, if there are no more comments, questions, or any other open thoughts. I'd like to thank everyone for having participated, thank the speaker again, and thank all the colleagues from the Innovation Booster as well. I saw we have 2 colleagues from InnoSwiss. Thank you for being part of this lunchtime webinar, and looking forward to see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.